I've been hearing. Unfortunately, what I'm talking about today is there's no fancy presentations or video stuff. I'm going to give you a chart, and I'm going to talk about everything in life is timing as far as I'm concerned. You know, you only go through life once. When you see an opportunity such as STEM, you look at it, you get into it, you get into it full bore. I'm going to talk about how to stay focused. And I'm going to talk about, a lot of this will probably be over your head a little bit, but I'll try to point out the message I'm trying to get across, because STEM can take you a lot of places in the world. And before we get into it, if you look at the science, the engineering and math part, you don't have to be an expert, right? Just understand that part. Look at the technology aspect. Look at the technology platforms. When I started out, there were no apps. There were nothing like that. We had to, microprocessors were just designed, and you had to figure out how to use it. But the technology, I'm going to show you, if you can take the technology in any business domain, make an ice cream, which I'm doing right now, or doing a restaurant business. I have some nephews doing garages. And that's a domain if you really do that. And how can you use technology that's out there and bring the two together? And how you do that at a larger scale is what I call a collaborative platform. You've got to get the technology guys talking to the domain and figure out how to do it. So if you figure out how to sort through all that, how to take technologies and be able to bring it to bear. And I'm going to show you how I did that. I went through many years, having a lot of fun. I have 3 children. I was broke all the time. I lived paycheck to paycheck until I figured out how to prevent people from using these to make them more stuff, and then it took me a while to figure it out. And there's some tricks. When we go through this chart, I just want you to look at it and think about it. And also remember, I'd trade places with any of you guys in here. I'd love to be your age again and do it again. You know? So always remember that. We're all created equal. My dad made, the most he made in this town was $7,000. And so I come from that. What I got from my dad is a blank check I would never cash. Because he always wanted to make sure I had money. So you can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So I'm going to walk you through this. Then I'm going to show you a platform. And later on in life, if you need something help on this, if I'm still around physically, I'll gladly try to help you. So let's go ahead and get started. Can you hear me over here? Okay, I'll talk loud. This is more comfortable over here. Okay, I'm going to talk about my background, where I came from, and then do a little bit more detail, but just to show you that, I'm going to show you the strategy with a proven track record. What I'm showing you, since I sold my business and I had sort of another guy out there, I made a whole lot of money because he followed this domain. And this, I understand the U.S. intelligence community, that's my domain. So a guy on this, I had none competes because I sold my business, Northrop Grumman bought us out, bought me out. But I had a friend of mine who I knew could deliver to customers. So I made one phone call. All right. I made a whole lot of money because I knew he could follow. He followed the domain of the top line. And so let's go ahead and start on that. And I'm going to talk about how, once you get it, how do you sustain it? You won't be interested in that, but I'm going to show you something. Then we'll show you an operating paradigm, how this works. It works really well, how STEM supports it all. And a wrap-up Q&A session. I graduated here. All I thought about in school, I did almost never dated in school because I wanted to learn, but I really wanted to get out of school and go play softball with Jack, go play football, do something like that. I took every study hall, if you still have study halls in school. I never took a book up because I did all my work in class, didn't have time for girls, really, until my senior year, and then I kind of almost messed up. Okay, and I dreamed about being a coach, but I didn't want to be a football coach. My uncle, who was a non-degree engineer, and my dad said, no, can't. So I started the Altoona campus. You take an aptitude test at Altoona campus. You'd make a good military officer and a farmer.
not an engineer. All right, cool. But the first year, I also got involved with girls. I failed 3 courses, couldn't figure out what's going on. Okay, I was feeling sorry for myself. I became a daddy. What the hell did I do to myself? Oh, I'm sorry to let you go. Try not to do it. Okay, so instead of giving up, I bought a trailer, took it up to Penn State, and went up there. On that second year up there, it was a whole year getting refocused. What the heck happened to me? Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Got a job in Weiss Markets. I worked lunches. I worked in the commissary. I work at a commissary. Just to get my lunch. Yeah. So I went through that. Then all of a sudden I meet 2 people who said, Dr. Volz was a phenomenal engineering instructor. He said, Bob, you're giving the right answers, but you don't know what you're doing. You're going all backwards. Making it too hard for yourself. So he worked with me, and later on, I made him my thesis advisor when I got my master's degree. Then I met a really old guy named Ron Stoll. He's 31 years old. 31. He worked almost 10 years overseas to save up enough money to pay his tuition to go to school. He became like a big brother, stabilized. Then all of a sudden, they got me back in to the discipline I had all the way up the top. And all of a sudden, school became a snap. It was being able to refocus what you're doing, everything, remember, one opportunity, try to learn. From there on, it was a piece of breeze, and I left there with an engineering process, which was really what amazed me about Penn State. It really disappoints me. Web, you've got to remember, the internet wasn't back in the day. When the web started, and they had the big websites for the school, and they had the engineering, electrical engineering department drilled down. And they had a fantastic chart, fantastic presentation, talked about the engineering process. Well, what that means is how do you go from a thought to everything that's required to come out with a product at the end. It's more product-oriented services. When I won the fellowship award, part of this presentation from it is one of the things that I harped on. I said, you guys, you blew what was important. I still think they're struggling. So they used to be a heck of an engineering school, but they're still struggling because of this different work. So what happened is I started a career, and I started doing design. I loved the design, had a lot of fun. For 12 years, working for another company, making a product, win lots of awards, but I'm still living paycheck to paycheck because I got chump change. All right. And finally, about 12 years into that, a very eccentric guy at Magnavox, the government side, at Fort Wayne, Indiana, heard about me, had me fly up and talk to him, broke me out of Melbourne, Florida, which is Cocoa Beach area, to Fort Wayne, Indiana, right after about January 3rd. Got up there, my car froze up the first day. You know, I had to take a cab to work, what a mess. But it was a significant event. Because this gentleman, his name was Bill Judge, had 11 homes, but lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Fort Wayne. He knew my dad had died, kind of like put me under his wing. He says, I want to be here 2 days a week, working with a guy named Bill Judge. He's going to teach you how businesses are run. And the other 3 days, you're a big boy. You got to do what you want to do, which he did. He also gave me 2 consultants in New York, I mean in DC. One guy, if you go to U.S. intelligence, you either do 2 things. You either try to protect all your apps, all your computers, or you try to find out what the other guy's doing. There's 2 different sides of the agency. So he gave me a gentleman of the 2 sides of the agency. And basically, I always knew how to protect communications, computer security, all that stuff. But never really understood the intel side, the other side, and most of it which doesn't get into the press, You're either after a bad guy or you're trying to rescue one of our guys. That's what it's all about, and it's really coming. So it's a whole different community on that. So he opened up the doors, but it's up to me. I have to see that opportunity. You know, you gotta, when you see, like Kenny Rogers, anybody know Kenny Rogers' song? You gotta know when you play in cars, you gotta know when to play the hand or when to fold. It's up to you to look into that and say, is this the right opportunity that you're looking for? So, what happens after that, we're going to get on with this. I spent the next 14 years making a lot of people a lot of money. I worked for Magnavox. Those are the kind of numbers. Those are millions of dollars, which I personally led the capture of, and all almost within the community. The one of significance to me is that Unisys computer company. I've been introduced to Sun Microsystems, Sun Microcomputers, and they wanted to get into the Intel community. So put together a year capture to go after this, led it for the Unisys, won a $600 million contract. My reward for that, after all that hard work, was good money, $25,000. The Sun salespeople who sold the product, all they did on this whole capture was to do the equipment demos, like show and tell. There was two of them. You know what they got out of it? They each got $1 million apiece. I said, there's something wrong here. I'm on the wrong side. Then what happened is, you know, it was fun. I got chump change in 1991. This is the booze on aspect. Came after me. They offered me a chance to learn the services side of the business. You know, product, science, engineering, technology, and math. You can put together, you can design and make things work. But as you go through, once you understand it, there's a whole service industry that needs to maintain, operate, maintain, repair those. That's called a service, lots of service. It doesn't have to be in technology, but that's where you sell people. And you'll find out that you make more money off of selling bodies if that's what you want to do. It's not rewarding. You find good people for the government who manage one, but that's on the thing. So I learned that business. It offers some really serious financial rewards. For the next 5 years, I learned how the best in breed practices, best practices, best technology, and how to leverage it. But I should have known there was something wrong, because the first thing Booz Allen usually, and I accepted it, I mean, it was okay straight up. They hired me to go there because they had some employees who basically cross-charged on timesheets, and they lied. And they didn't know how to put it together, since I knew the community well, I knew the IG, knew all that stuff. They wanted to pay any fine, but they wanted to keep it out of the press. So we did that. Everything was nothing illegal, but it bothered them. And then later on, they do this big forte that we're a people-oriented company. And then the most ruthless on this thing is like a law firm. Everything is done not for the employees, it's for the partners. Everybody makes chump change except the partners. It really bothered me. And I had one of my employees, every time I went to headquarters CIA, I was parked right by the front door. Everybody thought it was so great. I had a service guy, one guy to work in that office, and it really, really irritated the other partners. They had to park out in the parking lot, and I parked by the front door. And I learned that, and I said, okay, how do I turn that into something? And then how do I do it? The 97, let me go back. Yeah, 97, right after they came by. Way back in Magnavox, when they drew me out, there was the old Honeywell plant
which is a big electronics company. And they had a government side, which was in Annapolis, Maryland. And that became what we call the Windermere Group. He had a chance to buy it. He was going to pay a whole lot of money for it. I was upset working at Booz Allen, and I was going to go to the West Coast and I'll roll back electronics company. But I saw the potential. He needed help. I saw the potential. He pulled some money, and then they bought the Windermere Group. In 5 years, that's what Rich was talking about. That's where I was. And we were up to doing $10 million a month, and I was going to be another lucky big company, in. So, to my surprise, one day they walked in and said, my mentor gave his pieces to the 3 kids who weren't business people, but they wanted money. So they settled for nickels and dimes instead of really playing the hand the whole way out. So anyhow, bottom line is, I raised the money to buy them out. I didn't want to work for loan sharks. And so I cashed out, kept those products. Liberty Kane, Portland's PeopleSoft, that's the management software that we developed internally, which I think is fantastic, but could never take it to market. I tried too hard to compete with those guys. Because I don't understand that domain. Because I'm only really good business-wise in the U.S. Intel. Because I understand that business. I don't link that with technology. If I was in the commercial business, you can't be all things to all people. I'll show you what I mean by that. In February, I started with 2 new companies. There's so much time to live. Each venture I'm involved with, I won't do it unless it's fun. Here's the strategy. I want you to understand this chart. There's 2 things I want you to think about on this chart. One is how to focus. Here's the domain. I keep talking about domain. Intel community, gas stations, barber shops, chains, not just inside the shop. All right? Industry's best. Here's your technologies. Here's your domain. Now you're focused in there, and I'll show you how this even works for. But you need a collaborative work environment where you have humans, the brains of the thing. How you get these people talking the best of right technology people, and they're using the right technologies, interchanging, coming up with solutions. And it works. It works so phenomenally. You'll have, I mean, everybody's brain works different. Each one of your brain works different. So you look at a problem, you have different ideas. And you work through those, how to leverage it. Just think about that. What you can come up with could be really, really powerful. So you merge those, and that's delivered. What does that mean? But you know, once you do that, you need to be able how to keep your employees. How do you get rewarded for what you did? This says, you know, it's not giving somebody a window or a fancy office. That word is often heard. You know, so what I worked on was how to give people, my guys, I give them 40% of the money they make on their jobs, right up front. Also, I let them buy that business out. It's like a reverse system model, which you don't really want to get into here, but on that, the program, I'm geared, I want technology people. Technology. You know, when my career, there wasn't apps. And I haven't had time to, you know, amazing how many apps are out there. And how these apps, if you have the STEM background, as you get older, you'll be able to figure out how to, oh, this app works here in this dimension, how can I modify it for that dimension? And that's where the old action is. Who's going to do it quicker, faster? So just don't get hung up on, you know, when I went to school, they were working with vacuum tubes and how to design transistors, you know. It wasn't, you know, they were microprocessors on how they did it. And they had little 4-bit processors on how to do it. So technology moves so fast. Let those guys do their thing. You know, that's your AMIs and Intels and all those people that want to make electronics, is how to use and leverage it. And you get, as you continue at this age, as you get involved in engineering and math, that'll help you understand the technologies better, and then how you can get a jump start. Now, again, this is another boring chart, but this just depicts startup business area. In each business area, you think of that as being a mini company. You get as part of a team. And for the beginning, they can make 40%. But you got to surround yourself. I'm going to show you what, if you want to be a business leader, how to help you on that. The way I set my company up in all the companies, we've done a couple of them right now, they're working this way, but the biggest on this is, all I do personally is help direct business development and help make sure we're doing quality work. So any operation you can have you're in the services business or a product business, you want to design something on that, or do an incubator, they're always popping up with a business plan. So you have a services team, everything you need to do. You can't read that chart, but so if you really want to get into the money side, as you grow older, you've got to get into the management side of this. The band, you're just a leader on that. I won't bore you with the chart on that. I won't put you more to sleep. But this is, I told you it was going to be boring. Okay, but the biggest thing you got to do when you're here's this last chart. You got to know your own strengths and weaknesses. You got to accept the fact that you have to do a job. There's some basic skills you got to have. And there's nobody that is the best at everything. So it's how you learn to surround yourself with the right people. In any business, the leader business, you have the management business. It's not just managing people, it's how you do jobs. So there's two different disciplines, two different things. How do you build business? Because you got to get somebody, you got to pay the light bills, you got to have the money. So you got to go either sell something, earn something. So you got to be able to develop that and make it happen. Then the technical expertise, which really, you got to understand the technology, and you got to understand the technical stuff that's in your domain, wherever kind of business you want to do. But if you do those three, so if you weak here, the first guy you hire, which most people do, then when you start, they'll hire some marketing help or something on that. If you don't have the right skills, like when I went to Booz Allen, I kept deals. I knew I needed technical expertise. I could easily get business, I could do this. So I went with his fellow workers in a bigger company and says, I'll give you half the work, I'm going to bid your guys. You give me the initial staff and I'll follow the other stuff. And that's how it works. But if you do that, if you have a domain expertise, you've got to know the domain you're going to get into. You can't do one thing for all people. If you do that, you lead it in dedication and success. And I've done this part, if you follow that in the domain, I have about 5 very successful things going this way. Some of them bought up, they go out and play. They're doing a business, you form teams. This is what an operational services team is, but to do anything in the business, you need to have a finance team, you got to pay the bills. This is geared a little bit too much towards the government, but DCA is government approved systems. Project control specialists, you guys remember we said that regular management and HR people do. They help with staff development and recruiting, but you also got to run jobs. That's where you do that. The procurement, so forth, blah, blah, blah. But this chart back here, the thing I come back here, when you do something in life, everybody has a customer. And the way you solve this, if you want your guys, these teams up here, their customer are the guys that pay the bills. So you want to have your people focused on that because cash is king. You got to pay your bills. You have a services team who has a set of customers. That's these teams inside your own company. And there's a whole plan. The documentation that makes this happen is a multi-page document that's been reviewed by attorneys. Because I wanted to make sure that what we did, and if I sold people like in Windermere when I started, that had a partner, that they could not double-cross employees. And I also always used to say, my stock plans, you get ownership. I said, hey, the ownership is, as you recruit somebody, ask them what percentage of ownership all these stock shares someone gave you are worth, or how much of the company you actually worth. The model I put up is that, I give up every one of the business areas get to own 40% of that, like they own 40%, they get 40% of the profit, like ownership. And you let them, every year, as they grow, it's like a reverse VC model, is that they start to have more and more of the team, and there's a 4-year vesting because you want to hang them around, and it's worked. That's all been drafted, worked out, it's worked beautifully. I just took a guy, he went from nothing, he has like 300 employees now, he's going like $60 million. And I fell a couple years ago and almost died. I broke a lot of ribs and stuff, face bones and stuff. So I basically, I knew him, I didn't do everything I wanted, and I basically gave him $20 million back, and I said, I didn't earn it. Okay? Because, it just, in this whole business, it's ethics, work, handshakes, on that. But the other thing is just take advantage of what you're doing, STEM. I'm impressed here. I know this is very important. Just remember to stay focused when you're working on it. Okay? When the opportunity is right season, you go through school. School's an opportunity. Then you get one shot at going to school. You got to learn, and as you get older, you got to learn what's important and what's not. And you got to remember, as you get into life, everybody's after the same thing, and it's competition. And it's a very nasty world out there, so you got to go in equipped. And that's what I love about STEM. Like people can't blow smoke at you, If you understand the basics and keep on going, you can go somewhere. Now, I'll take anything you want to talk about. I mean, I know it's kind of boring, but that's I'm a boring guy. This is where I come from. And I'm glad to support this program more. And I hope you guys remember, I'm more technology oriented. And also I'm looking for programs in technology to leverage that better, and maybe get a little bit extra for that. So it's on that too. So it's up to you guys. You want to talk to anybody more, or we can just stop here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You mentioned about failure, like it's not a bad thing.
What?
Failure is not a bad thing.
I said you mentioned failure.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was not a bad thing.
No, absolutely
Could
not.
you explain a little bit?
Oh, yeah. It's like, no risk, no rewards. Everything in life is, it's like, after I got out, I've been out, like I said, but I got into different domains. I did like 6 of them basically failed. One made it. That made one I was talking about. My piece was worth about $30 million. And I accepted 8. This is already buying out because he's off going to the races. But if I hadn't done that, probably that was the one most people thought was the highest risk. It's like his intellectual properties. PMPS, I think it's fantastic. But here I am, I wasted $1 million on it, trying to get it going. But if you have some success, you're going to learn. If you never fail, that's part of life. Don't give up. You got to get back on your feet. Plow forward. You let it'll pass. So if you don't take any risks, you're not really reward. Everything you want to do something. If you drop the ball,
It's like, in my business, you drop the ball once, you put the ball back in the hand. Drop the ball twice, I put it back in the hand. Try to do it. You drop it the third time, you do something different. Because it can be, it's like, but it doesn't mean you get fired. You're trying to do how to do it. Don't get discouraged about it. That's part of it. Yes, ma'am? Sorry, what? I'm definitely.
Small businesses,
Bob, could you repeat the question so we could hear?
Yes, ma'am. She asked me to go hard to run a business. Small business, no. It's hard work, but it's not hard. It's fun. As businesses grow, you'll find as you get older, you'll find adults, a lot of adults play games. Okay, and they're not truthful, not everybody. So as just more and more people, you get working for you. You keep crossing people who are disloyal or have their own agenda, then it gets hard and it doesn't become fun. And that's why, the point, I hope I answered your question, but it's, if you follow the rules, run the business is fun. It can be a lot of fun. If it gets really big, it's not as much fun, but it's more money. So the trade. Okay? Does that answer your question? Okay? Yes, sir.
Your business have different locations versus
Well, that's a good question. When I had Windermere, I had like 8 locations. Where I am right now, my biggest forte is different locations. The piece I sold off here recently was here in Columbia. My big thing is I want to take ice cream. If I wasn't far away, I could have brought me ice cream. I looked at, there's 2 things I always want to do in life. When I grew up as a kid, I had nothing to do with engineering, but when I made the money doing that stuff, I done do that. I always wanted to do a bar restaurant. Why? Because I had 3 uncles. When I was up here, I said my dad busted me and thrown behind the head with a bomb to go to Penn State. But I had 3 uncles that had, and 2 cousins actually were in the bar business. And they said, no, you don't get the bar business. They don't own you. Well, since I had money, I've experimented and I have a bar restaurant in Melbourne, Florida. So in Grand Florida, we do that. And then, I like ice cream. Not a lot. Well, yeah, this is more for beer than all the It's but like I just did a big thing this morning that says 2 beers a day for guys is healthy. And good steak, beef, red beef is healthy if you don't put a lot of butter on it. That's on Fox News or something this morning. So there's a place in Annapolis, on Mountain Road in Maryland, has a #1 ice cream, one shot. Ice cream are all Maryland. #1 in Yelp and #1 on something else. So the guy, I said, we're going to put ice cream in the Grand Station thing. Guys, I'll teach you how to make ice cream. Anyhow, bottom line on that thing, it is great ice cream. Been making it now for a year in Grand Florida. I'm getting ready to take it throughout the state. What I did is I worked 2 years hard, and I'm getting people to understand that make ice cream, you don't use water, and you don't use the sewer. You use it once a day to clean up. It's like a couple gallons of water. But I'm out at the only guy in the state of Florida, and the state of Maryland, Florida, that has a restaurant license. So now I'm trying to figure out how to go to Jacksonville, how to go to Tampa, Orlando, and Miami with that. And like I said, if you remember my chart, we got this domain expertise. You got to understand that business. I don't understand the ice cream business. And I'm scared to death as I start doing that. Do I have the domain? I have the technology, I have the accounting system, I have the marketing set up, I got the product. But if you don't know the whole 9 yards, it's going to fail. So, on that, the locations in Florida, I've shut down most of my operations. I still have in Maryland, I want to get out of Maryland. you guys, I mean, you can have the north of me. When I sold the company, I moved and became a Florida resident for the 4th time. I love Florida. And that's where I want to be most of the time. So, but I'm also 73, so you got to quit doing it. You know, you got to settle down here one of these days and stop. But it's, I can't, it's fun. And because they're small, really unrated. And I don't have to put up anybody but me. You know, so it's just, anything else? Sorry I put somebody to sleep. Like this young lady here. That's okay. But just take advantage of what you got. They got some really good things here at school. I just blown away. This school is, man, it's nice. This first I've been in it. My mom lived across the street, never got over on this, and you got a nice opportunity. And you got my commitment. We're going to continue to do more stuff in STEM, and you know, hope we'll see it grow. So I'm going to take STEM. I'm going to try to introduce it to other schools and throughout the state and up in New York and also down West Virginia. Give our kids just down there looking for the same type of help. And so I'm committed to that, and that's where I want to do. And we're working with the spies, and I'm glad I know it. So, thank you. Oh, sorry.
No, I just kind of wanted to thank you. This is kind of the cream of our crop. And we appreciate you, a young man from Claysburg, going out and being the success, you know, that you have been. But sometimes these kids are told they can't do that.
Oh, absolutely not.
And, you know, it's just great to reinforce that, you know, these kids, we have had a lot of great people come from Claysburg. And I'm sure we hate to see, you know, any of these people leave these times and not realize each one of them can do the same.
Oh, without question. You got to remember, everybody gets up out of the bed in the morning the same. Everybody's created equal. And you'll don't get discouraged because of, like, everything I wanted to do here be totally anonymous. We started off that way, we just can't keep it that way. Because my the biggest success factor, you know, everything I've done is you try to make other people a hero who are paying the bills. And if you do that, it's like I say in a commercial, don't forget who your customer is. Most people forget that. But you're as good as anybody that's out there. I mean, like I came from here. I'm saying I would give anything to be back there. And there's more. I'm hoping that the world is not going down to get really frustrated with what's going on politically and the game plan. But the whole operating paradigm of the country's got to change. Otherwise, we're not going to make it. So, but that's not my pay grade, not your pay grade. But don't give up. And if you need some help down the road, I'm setting up something that's going to be very unique and financially for other things. And so if I just can make it to the end, we'll see where it goes.
All right. Everyone give a round of applause to Bob Pozgar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. As Janice Chris said, this is a true success story of a Claysburg person. Where's that? All right, we're going to do one more thing, and then you're going to your classes. A couple of number information things from the numbers guy, unfortunately. We had 75 students register, 63 were from Claysburg. This is our last day. It's going to be a fun day, by the way. We had some students from other school districts, from 5 other school districts, 2 from Bedford, 2 from Chestnut Ridge, 3 from Hollidaysburg, 3 from Northern Bedford, and 2 from Spring Cove. And this thing's going to grow, and Bob Pozgar has been a big proponent of us expanding, going further, and his goal, and he didn't mention it, is to help students in high poverty school districts anywhere, especially in central Pennsylvania where he came from, and as he said, from West Virginia and upstate New York. And of the 75 of you, this is a great breakdown. 24 were in 5th grade, 10 and 6, 22 and 8, 12 and 9, 6 and 10, and 1 and 12. And the old theory is the younger you are when you start learning STEM, the better you'll be. And unfortunately, if you don't get it in the early years, when you get into the teenage years, you lose interest. But you need to keep that interest as you go forward into college. We averaged about 55 students a day because of vacations and whatever else. We had about 655 student days. We had 3 teachers full-time, and I was amazed when I put this together this morning. We had 3 teachers full-time from Claysburg, 1 from Spring Cove. They worked 42 man days. We had 13 other instructors, whether they were art, music, computer, that type of thing. And we had 4 other guests in special areas, like First Commonwealth was here, we had a guidance counselor here, we had Andrew Trexler here, the computer guy, we're going to be meeting with after a while. We had 16 guest speakers, and we sit, and we're amazed, and we know you guys don't appreciate the caliber of the people that talk to you, and I know you got bored with some of them because they're very talkative. We had 16 guest speakers and a dog. Of those 16 people, 5 of them held doctorates. That's pretty impressive. 2 were presidents of companies. One of them was Bob. 2 worked for NASA. One was by Skype. 1 was a well-known artist around the world. And the other 6 were experts in their field. And how we got them, we don't know. They didn't charge us a penny, which is great. We had 165 days of volunteers. That's about 14 volunteer people per day. And as you go around today, when you see these volunteers, thank you for coming. They didn't get paid anything, but they gave their time and energy, and we really appreciate that. We gave away about $1,000 in prizes and t-shirts. That's not much in prizes and t-shirts, but we spent a lot of money here. And we served between 900 and 1,000 meals, and Christine Leslie and her crew are to be commended for that. And we refunded over $25 of you guys your parents only paid $25 for you to come to this. And if you attended 9 or more days, your parents got their money back, and over half of them got their money back. We, the foundation, and we only did this because there were parents that prodded us to do this. They set up the committee, and a big thanks to Michelle Chris back there and her whole committee for putting this together. They asked us to fund having you guys come here. We spent about $25,000. That's about $325 for each of you that we spent. And your parents gave $25, and after that, got it back. And at this point, we just need, I want a round of applause for the donors who sponsored this, and the volunteers and the workers. And the other thing, the Claysburg Kimball staff, whether it was the office, the administration, the maintenance people, they were all phenomenal. I want to give them a big round of applause. And here's what we're doing the rest of the day. Everyone sit still until we get through this. When you leave here, grades 8 through 12 are going to room 130 with Andrew Trexler for computer work. Grades 5 through 7 are going to room 110, or 120 rather, for STEM. And at 11:30, and I know you guys are hungry today, we're having Italian day, pasta, ravioli, meatballs, salads, no dessert. Because at the end of the day, we're having an ice cream bar, okay? And Brett Miller and Sarah Bonk, and we brought in some other people like Troy Chris. By 12:30, we want to be out on the field, and we'll give you directions after lunch where to go for the rocket lunch, okay? And that's going to take about an hour at the most. And then you're coming in, and the wrap up is all the ice cream you can eat, okay? So at this time, walk please, go to your classes, okay? Thank you.
They brought up the Spring Cove part. I'm like, yeah.
That's what. Make it a little.
Yes. I put 2 out on the sheets of
Okay.
Yeah. Well, ours was extra, doesn't write to you.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Well, we brought it back.
Could, yeah, even if it's a nightshirt or something of that sort, yeah.
take care. Hey, Bob. Next up. This is Michelle Chris. She's the parent who ran the whole committee to put this together, and this is Julie Nelson. Anyway, Michelle's husband is Troy. And Troy's son of Lynn and Jansen, you and Jansen.
Well, I like what you do. That's what you're proud of.
Good. Straight down the rock. Did you like my text this morning when you were asking? Here I am opening jars of sauce and you keep asking me questions by text. You know what I told you? Stop asking me questions, Nancy, go, we'll talk later.